You know when you got your foot in the car, you about to sit down in your seat. He stopped me in between. Excuse me, man. Hey, man. I didn't mean to startle you. Are you the guy from Fox 5? I said, yeah, man. I love the show. I love the show, man.
Welcome to 100 Level, a live podcast conversation. I'm excited to be here at Bowie State University. My name is Larry Green, and joining me today, I have some amazing guests which I will introduce to you in a moment. But before I do, at 100 Level, the goal of what we're trying to create is to be at the intersection of different lived experiences so that we can learn from each other and grow. And with that, we're going to dive right in because we're going to be learning some amazing things today with our guests. And so I'm going to introduce each guest, and then after that, I'm going to fire them a quick question to get them going. So the first person that I have here is Joe Clair. Joe Clair is a host, comedian, and radio personality from the Washington, D.C. area. A proud Morgan State University graduate, he currently hosts the Nina Brown and Joe Clair Show on WHUR. And Joe Clair's career spans over 2 decades, rising to national prominence as the host of BET's Rap City, where he famously conducted the last interview of the notorious B.I.G.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Respect.
He began his career on HBO's Def Comedy Jam and a dedicated community advocate and realtor. Joe actively mentors youth and helps minority communities achieve home ownership, serving as a beacon in his community.
Wow, that sounds great.
That's amazing.
That guy is incredible.
You got something else. So I want to ask that guy a question. Who is Joe Clair?
Oh, man.
It sounds corny, but I'm my mom and dad's child. My parents were people who came to the D.C. area with a dream back in the late 60s, like we're going to set up the Black American dream. My mother was a creative. She was a writer, taught at GW for years, a novelist. My dad was an attorney for the Department of Education, but he had another gig after that. He had a side hustle, a little bit of street pharmaceuticals.
Gotta do what you do, right? Business is business.
We're going to keep it 100. It's called 100 Level.
100 Level, yeah.
And so
Real
the
talk.
two of them together,
Gave me a very wide range of what could be, and I am him. Without the street pharmaceuticals, but everything else, yeah. That's what's up.
Yeah. Welcome, Joe.
Thank you.
Next, we have Cortez Bryant. Cortez Bryant is a renowned music executive, entrepreneur, educator, and best known as the longtime manager of Lil Wayne and co-founder of the Blueprint Group, a leading entertainment management firm. With over 2 decades shaping the careers of global artists, Cortez has expanded his impact into education as the co-founder of Assemble, bringing the industry expertise into accredited college courses such as careers in music and others. Passionate about mentoring the next generation, he bridges culture, academia, and creating pathways for students to access knowledge directly from leaders who have transformed their fields. And same question, who is Cortez Bryant?
Oh, man. From New Orleans, born and raised. I think that, to sum up life and what it's been for me, I guess I'm just a person who used my life experiences growing up, found my purpose, which I think overall, my God's purpose, which is to help people. And I think that has evolved through many different dimensions throughout my adult life and career.
Nice.
How simple enough, right?
That works.
You wrote my bio? That seems like something you wrote.
That's what a good business partner.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
There we go.
Just saying, that was good.
Yeah, we're going to get into some of that too. It's simple, yeah. All right, next we have Cortney Woodruff. And Cortney is the co-founder and CEO of Assemble, an ad tech company transforming higher education through industry-aligned, expert-led courses in fields such as AI, aerospace, and digital marketing. A two-time founder and angel investor, Cortney launched Assemble to address the urgent need for modern curriculum and equitable access at minority-serving institutions. Under his leadership, Assemble has partnered with universities like USC, Arizona State, and Jackson State, reaching over 30,000 students in his first year. Passionate about building solutions at the intersection of education and innovation, Cortney is dedicated to equipping students with skills that drive opportunity and impact.
Yeah.
And who is
Courtney Woodruff.
Courtney is a young kid from Jackson, Mississippi that just is following all the dreams that I think God put in my brain. Growing up, being able to have a full circle moment and be in a place like DC or go to New York, these are very far places, very far from Mississippi. And you didn't really have access to people that had traveled those places and seen the world. And so for me, at a very young age, I set out to leave home, and I just went abroad to Europe, to Asia. And the only person that I knew that was doing business from afar that had anything in common with me in Jackson was him. And so it always kind of stuck with me that even though I did not want to be in the music industry, I could only see one person that looked like me that I could see in the newspaper. And I think I've just been chasing that my entire life to help younger kids have access to anybody that's doing whatever it is they want, and they know how to just be stuck chasing the entertainment person, and then that person is responsible for everybody else's dreams because maybe it is outside of their wheelhouse and their skill set. So we're trying to bridge that gap.
Hey, opening it up, democratize
it. Yeah,
I love it.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah. And my fourth guest here is Brandon Andrews. Brandon is an entrepreneur and innovative business consultant known for his work at the intersection of business, media, and policy. As the co-founder of Gauge, an AI-driven market research firm, he connects major brands with consumers. A global keynote speaker and host, he represents the U.S. State Department as a Global Innovation Fellow, speaking on AI and entrepreneurship. Andrews also serves as a business and entertainment producer, notably casting for ABC's Shark Tank and Revolt's Bet on Black, connecting thousands of entrepreneurs to valuable opportunities. And same question, Brandon, who is Brandon Andrews?
Well, you said it there. I'm a connector. I always want people to say that when they met Brandon, they got connected to something good. And so whether that's connecting entrepreneurs to financing or an opportunity to pitch their business on television, which I've had the opportunity to do for over a decade, or whether that's connecting big enterprise companies with their targeted group of consumers to create valuable products and services through Gauge, or connecting lines of code to build new things using AI or other technology. I'm a connector and always want to connect folks to something good.
Wow. I love it. And so we got a full great panel here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I love it. And so I just want to jump in.
Tyler Perry movie.
Yeah, this works. We put together the right group. Now, the common thing that I see across all of you is that all of you have passion. And you've been able to take your passions and turn them into something. Something that is great. And even the cool thing about this is that you've been able to turn your passions into something that can, impact and affect others in a powerful way. And the first question I have is, about passion. How did you know what your passion was?
For comedy, well, my passion for comedy and performing came because a girl that I liked laughed.
That'll do it.
Here we go. Women laugh. Did they like you after that? So that was passion. I had there was a professor at Morgan State who sent somebody across campus to find me. I was out with my frat brothers, you know, sitting on the benches, not going to class, doing what Joe Play does. And somebody said, Dr. McKinney wants to speak to you. And when I got there, she said, you have to be in my play. It's like, I'm not in the drama department. I don't know anything about a play. I've never been in a play.
Yeah.
What makes you, I'm not even in any of your classes. How do you know me, lady? You know, that kind of thing. And she's like, well, I watch you out here on this cabin doing this and doing that and everything else. Come get on display. And it was like, she sat it in my lap. Are you going to do this or not? So I decided to go and do the play. I was horrible in the play. But I had one line where, you know, that was really serious. I broke character kind of and said what I said, and they laughed. The girl that I dug, sit right there, you know, I'm in makeup and everything, and I could see her laugh. She was laughing. That was it. I called my parents as soon as I got off stage. You know, I changed my name. Because that was it. And from there, though, what really happened was I found out that I had a passion for getting up, saying a point of view that may not be popular, may not be how anybody else sees it, and getting a reaction, and hopefully, turn it on something in that person that just heard.
That's real.
That led to radio, that led to television, and all the things that I continue to do. You know, it started from there.
Yeah. Now, it's funny, Joe, because I actually met you a number of years ago.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. This is back in the 90s at a comedy club. It was great because I forgot the name of the comedy club because I went to school at the Naval Academy. So close by. I'm very familiar with this area. And I forgot the name of the comedy club, but it was early in your career.
Greenbelt?
Maybe Comedy Connection to Greenbelt?
I think it might have been.
Or Laurel.
It might have been Greenbelt, what I'm thinking.
And you were early in your career, you got up there and you killed it. I was like, this dude is hilarious.
So very
No, it's a great story. I'm like, this guy is great. Then, you know, BET and the other things. I'm like, this guy's got it.
Thank you,
This
sir.
guy's got it.
I appreciate
But
that.
I remember that. That's back in the mid-90s, I think
Yeah,
it was.
man.
I'm still here doing your thing. Yeah, shows are still going to be. We shows every month at the Bowie Center for Performance Arts. Please come out. You'll have a great time.
Here?
Yeah.
Really?
Right? Yeah. I bring comedians in. Well, speaking back to community and doing your things. So I fly comics in from all over the country.
That's hard.
Once a month, right at the Bowie Center for Performance Arts. What's really hard about it is that the Bowie Center for Performance Arts is attached to Bowie High School. It's really, but the city and the city owns it, but the school system kind of
Runs it.
So
Oh, you
on
see.
Friday night, Saturday nights, we in there like it's a comedy club.
Wow.
But it's attached to a school.
Wow.
And, you know, the funny joke is I never thought that I would spend my Saturday nights, you know, in a school auditorium telling jokes. But, you know, if you're seeing, you know, Cheryl Underwood came, Don Curry came.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Dude, I just had Red Grant. And,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Red still doing comedy? I thought Red was like an Apollo.
he ran for mayor.
He ran for mayor, right? It's just he, right?
Yeah, but
He still telling jokes?
once you're a comedian,
Still be funny.
yeah, it does.
I got you.
It's a great skill set. Yeah, that's wonderful.
I had to plug too.
Hey, that's what we do. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Cortez, your passion.
Passion.
How did you know? How did you know?
I figured it out along the way. I think with kind of the passion I figured out, I think growing up with a single parent, my mom, we're not that far apart. She had me when she was very young at 16. She was always playing music. And music has always been like in my ear, and I didn't understand it at the time. You know, and I had played a lot of different sports in high school and quit all, and I got kicked out the basketball team, and I did everything else. Ran track because I found the girls would like nice tracks. You know, we did, you know, it would lead us to different things, right?
The ladies are listening.
I'm just saying, our influences, yes. Oh, the reason why we do things. But marching band is like a big culture in New Orleans. And we didn't have a band in my high school at the time. And it's the same high school Lil Wayne was at, and Currency and Mac Man. A lot of us was all in the same school.
Oh, wow.
So that's how me and Wayne got tight. So I started a band there. Wayne was actually in the band. He had shot himself, Cash Money.
I remember that.
His mom took him away from music because he was watching the Biggie video, took him away from music and was like, you better find something to do. And he was just my little homie in school, and he joined the band that I was starting. So but I knew he always wanted to do, he was the only one literate because it was a magnet school. It was like one of the best public schools in New Orleans. So we got our hood kids, everybody from different parts was going there. So long story short, he wanted to keep doing music. I fell in love with this band. I went to Jackson State on a marching band scholarship. I was in the Sonic Boom inside of Jackson State. Well, I learned a lot of things, leadership, all these roles. Wayne's career started popping as I was in school in the late 90s, Cash Money, 99, 2000. I was a mass comm major, probably be doing something like here behind the scenes, right? He called me my senior year and said, Taz, you're my best friend. I don't trust anybody else. Can you manage me? I was like, bro, I don't know nothing about the music business. I went on a couple tours as a roadie, but I went back to school. I was like, that's your thing. I'm going to do mine. But, we kind of took a leap of faith together.
Wow.
And I applied all those things. And as I could look back and see how music from my mom to marching band and just how I thought about music and songs and creations, and what I thought about creating songs, by listening to so many, being exposed to so many different types of music, it poured into, Wayne, and then the next person asked me to manage him, make him a star was Drake and Nicki and the whole Young Money and so on and so forth. Yeah. So 21 years, the music has been my passion. I found it, and it evolved from, like I said, Saturday mornings with mom to marching band to the industry.
Yeah. Now I want to make sure that the audience and our listeners got that. So Lil Wayne, you talked about, who else did you manage again?
Drake. Drake is my biggest flex. Everybody know me for Wayne. Wayne already had like a couple platinum albums out locally. When he was going on Rap City, I was just a friend. I used to be around in the house, just hanging around as best friend, Drake is my biggest flex guy. I had him from zero. Taz, I want to be a star.
Wow.
We also managed Kanye at the company. My partner G Roberson, he had Kanye from the beginning. So we had Kanye, Wayne, Drake, Nicki at the same time. And later on, G-Eazy, Lil Nas X, Ice Spice, Lotto for a minute, Tip for some years.
Some
Jill
heavyweights.
Scott, The Roots, all was underneath the Blueprint group. Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And we've been blessed, man. I'm blessed. I can't lie. Yeah.
You ain't BET?
Yeah. Right here having a conversation. This is good. Yeah. So now, your passion, Cortney. Yeah.
My granddad was like, I think, if not the first, one of the first 3 black men to own a grocery store in Mississippi. Medgar Everett's house was 2 streets over from it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And so as a kid, I just think there was just like so much pride seeing like our family name on the store. And so entrepreneurship has always somewhat been in my DNA. And I think the other thing is like I'm a person that if there's a problem, I really don't care if it has to go to the White House. Like I will dedicate my life to solving it. Sometimes it gets me in trouble because it's like
You're locking in.
yeah, that principle is something, right? But then I think the other thing that really like called my passion was just the advent of technology, and most of us utilize technology so often that we take it for granted. I mean, like, this light bulb was created by a black inventor, Lewis Latimer. He was next to Thomas Edison his entire life and then created that, the AC, so many things that just really kicked off the Gilded Age, and a lot of people don't know it. And I can't really explain, to all the students back there, even people that have ideas, when you design something, especially technology, because it can scale, I think it's like the only thing that may correlate to like a musician or an artist. When you deploy that code, first you're nervous as hell because it's like, if it more than likely only 10 people are going to use it, but let's say 1,000 people use it. It's like a really powerful thing to sit back and know that thousands of people are using something that you've designed, right? And you put your blood, your sweat, your tears into it, and you're hopefully empowering their life and making it a lot easier, right? And once you do that, it's just like, it's an addiction. And so for me, I just remember being the kid at Alabama A&M wanting to go to Wall Street, and there was no one in career services that could guide me with that. You help me, connect me. And then I also remember being that young kid from the South that had to go to Wall Street by myself, scared to death, and just got over my fear. And so there's just something in me that's like, if I can build technology to solve this problem, I can like alleviate that experience with thousands or millions of students one day. So yeah, that's how I know my passion. I really solve that problem.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Good stuff. And Brandon.
Yeah, when you say passion, the first thing that comes to mind for me is pitch prep. So when I'm talking to entrepreneurs, how do you put yourself in a position to be successful when you're talking to investors? I always say, I want to hear from passionate entrepreneurs. I want to know that you're not only uniquely qualified to take advantage of the market opportunity, to bring the product or service to market, I want to know that you're uniquely passionate about it. And so passion can come out in a number of ways. You know, people come on Shark Tank and do backflips and cartwheels and breathe fire and all kinds of stuff to differentiate what they're doing from everybody else. But passion can be the story that you tell, your personal story, and saying, I've now created something that's solving a problem. Or music, something that's delivering happiness. Comedy, something that's delivering happiness to people. That's passion, and that's something that I think can resonate. You got to have your numbers, you got to do your due diligence, but that's something that can resonate and build a connection beyond just the numbers. But for me, in terms of my passion, I love this Southern connection. So I grew up right next door in Alabama, small town, South Alabama.
A&M.
Oh,
What
yeah,
city?
yeah. Bruton is the name of it.
Okay.
Yeah. So I didn't know anything that I've done professionally existed when I was there. So
we got something in common.
there you go. So I'm passionate about learning. I'm a lifelong learner, and I think that passion to continue to learn how things work, to raise my hand and say, yeah, I'll try that out. Yeah, I'll be helpful. Perform once I get, in a position, but that always leads to the next opportunity. So I'm passionate about learning, and then, like I said, passionate about connecting people and hopefully connecting them to something good.
Yeah. Well, this is going to get into something we're going to jump into later, but Cortez, I wanted to just do one final thought for you. We're going to talk a little bit later about just the idea of just hard work and just working on your craft. And then I cut Paul this last part to show me the money piece. It's like being able to synthesize what you're passionate and what you're nurturing into like career. But I just wanted to just get any final thoughts that you may have about what we've already talked about, or just with hard work, or just with flipping and synthesizing something. Any final thoughts that you have? For me?
Well, I could say this because I know I'm going to get this point across, especially what's important for me about Assemble and what hard work and, that I've done and established so much. I've been so blessed in my career, transitioning to solving problems and really amplifying the help that I want to see, I would like to see for the future. I think that with all the success I've had, with all those great names and artists that I've worked with in the entertainment business, as a person who's been behind the scene and managed all these superstars, at the end of the day, I looked at when hip hop became the largest genre in the world. When you look at the top, it wasn't us that was controlling our IP, you know what I'm saying? And we didn't have the information to even know. And like I say, I was learning on the fly, on the job, you know what I'm saying? I was learning on the job. So, this company assembled, I think Cortney's going to talk about a lot more, was, I've realized, we don't have a lot of exposure. You know what I'm saying? You're talking about come from Bruton, Alabama, didn't even know these things exist. I think that it's very important for the people who are putting the work, who has these, Joe was talking about how he's been in the community and going to prisons and teaching people these skill sets. I think that's so important. It could be could really change when we talk about leveling the playing field for our people, really level that. So I think that's where the Assemble idea came from. I knew I wanted to teach more black executives to not understand the creative side and that side of it, but understand the IP, the business, the value that it holds, especially as this industry is evolving. I was blessed enough to be the think tank and learning and me having the right team to help my artists out and build these superstars. I want to build more of that. So that's what Assemble is. We're connecting the dots. And, a lot of these universities that we have, shout out Bowie State for having an AI program. Just saw you just got a grant for an AI program, right? Wow. But a lot of universities, because of the red tape of getting curriculums approved by the state and so on and so forth, can't lean into all this information as it's coming in real time. You know, so we created this platform in order to bring you classes like these music industry classes that I teach at Jackson State, and we have on Assemble, and classes on AI and how to run a podcast. Things that's right now that's happening, that these kids are on social media. You know what I'm saying? How do you be a social media manager? I don't know if that's a major yet, but that's a career in every sector of corporate America. How are we thinking about that? How are we positioning ourselves to be valued about that? That's my spiel. I hate I have to leave early. You know, I don't know if it'll be cut up, edited. I have to catch this flight to make my son's game in the morning. Wish I could have talked more. I just wanted to get that out because I know that, you know, especially we on the college campus, and it's a place where, you know, what I'm familiar with, because this was me in these walls at Jackson State trying to figure it out, trying to figure out my path and my purpose, you know, and I found that it was just right for me to come back to a school like this and give back, and for us to be helping schools like this and many other HBCUs.
Well, I appreciate you, Cortez.
Yeah.
And so, give my hand, everybody.
That was a long spiel.
All good. All good. I definitely appreciate you.
Good meeting y'all.
Good luck to your son and safe travels to you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, I guess we're back. We're back, gentlemen. All right, so the next thing I wanted to dive into now, I call this section Never Working, put that in quotes, a day in your life. And what I mean by that is the whole idea of intentional and deliberate practice, you know, in relation to your passion and the thing that you really want to get into, but just layering on that piece. And a couple questions, and we can just jump into it. What are some ways you learn more about your craft? What are some ways that you work on your craft? And then the word discipline. Curious about your relationship with that word, what that means. And then there's that famous quote, if you do what you love, you won't work a single day in your life. And so just hard work. Just any thoughts on that? Like, how do you approach your craft, working on it?
Well, me personally, I have a horrible relationship with discipline. Okay. Horrible.
Why is that?
It was just, I was one of those kids who things didn't take from me. Just because an adult said it didn't mean anything to me. Just because you were in charge, that really made me want to rebel. And I found out, you know, trying to put myself through school, and, you know, I found out when it was, okay, now when the rubber meets the road, and I got to pay college tuition out of this pocket, and I have to go get the money myself, you should have paid a little more attention to the disciplined people. But that's where passion came in.
Okay.
That's where passion made me take the next step and the next step and the next step and the next step and the next, and continues to keep me moving. So, where I watch them, like my wife is incredible with routine and the box, being in the box and the routine and the traditional way that you get things done. I've always been challenged in that area. However, my passion will get me up at 5:30 in the morning to go get, you know, to go check on this new endeavor that we just, you know, something we just launched, or she'll catch me at any time. You know, in my studio, I make, you know, music is a side hustle, side hustle, and you can catch me at 4:30 in the morning, bright and early, and that's been for 18, 19 years, you know. That's been a thing. So while it doesn't look like discipline from the outside in the traditional sense, I mean, my day, every day, if the sun is up, it's on, let's go get it, let's go get to it. Let's stay on it, and let's make sure that everything that we do is taking us towards the next. You talked about craft. I've never taped a comedy special. I've done comedy all over the globe. Some of the biggest and the smallest.
I didn't realize that. But yeah, keep going.
You can't go find, you know, 20, 30 minutes of me anywhere. And so I'm gearing up to do that now. To stick with the craft, I'm going and I'm digesting every bit of every comedian I can find. I know my jokes, and I know I'm hilarious. However, once the cameras are on and the director is there and the producer is there and the sound is there and the audience is there and it's a whole nother thing, do you have enough of all of that hubris and everything that you bring into the stage to actually make it be what it's supposed to be? Well, if you've been disciplined enough to continue to watch everybody, see who's hot, be coachable, and go out regularly, try my set out. I'm not taping for another 90 days, so keep trying, getting that set tightened up.
Yeah.
And then staying on the craft, and getting the new set ready, because as soon as this one goes,
You gotta have a new concept.
get ready the new one for when when they start booking you. Better have that new 90 minutes.
Yeah.
You can't come with that old 90 minutes. So
Facts.
the discipline doesn't look like it. If you would follow me around all day, you'd be like, this man is he don't do nothing. But if you were to follow me over a 6-month period, you would sort of see how I feel about discipline in the craft and getting to the next place.
Yeah. Well, one thing I love about what you're sharing is that discipline doesn't have to look the same for everybody.
Yeah.
And it took me a long time to realize that.
Yeah.
Well, let's be real. As a black boy, you better get in line with, you're taught the line might save your life.
Yeah.
Stand inside the box.
It could be a matter of life and death.
Literally save your life.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I found I thought it was something wrong with it. I couldn't sit inside that box. I would itch. I can't do it this way. I can't be on that routine. And I was wondering what was wrong with me.
Yeah.
And I realized, I'm just built a different way. I still have the same passions and desires. I still want the same results. I want to be excellent. I want to be incredible as well.
Yeah.
And I had to manifest in a different way.
Yeah. And different is good. Different is okay. Different works. And that's the piece that I love about that.
I think
Yeah.
getting to know yourself,
Yeah.
I think is the real key. You certainly have a template. So, and maybe your parents trying to do right by you, tell you, stay in this box, here's the template, here's how it's worked for other people. But ultimately, it's our responsibility to figure out how we learn, how we get work done, how we get motivated, how we tap into our passion, whatever our passion is. And so I think it's incredibly important to understand who you are in as much as you are trying to apply discipline and be productive and be excellent in everything that you said. Yeah.
Yeah. That's wonderful.
I mean, for
Other
me,
thoughts? Yeah.
I've been very structured. I had a very structured upbringing, but it's also the rebellious side of the discipline. So I don't like people telling me what to do, and that's why I never worked for anybody, or just telling me what I can't do. It's like, I knew when I graduated I wanted to go to Harvard Business School ultimately, right? Which is typically 28 years old. I got in when I was 21. Just the idea of what you can't be is crazy to me, especially if someone tells it to me. So I think one of the biggest things, though, about discipline also, though, the trade-off is it will inspire you to find the passion to overcome some of the things, because you're going to bump your head. And oftentimes when people go on their journey of self-discovery, or they have these dreams, you may give yourself 10 years, right? And you're talking about hard work now, right? I really don't know who came up with the 10,000 hours line, because it's bullshit. It takes so much more than 10,000 hours.
10,000 hours to get warmed up.
Yeah. No, seriously. It really is. And so when you start to talk about like the Tez's of the world, or the sharks on Shark Tank, or the great comedians, the Chappelles, I mean, I think my last birthday, it was like 36 or something. I kind of like did the hours of, if you worked 80 hours a week and the average person works 40 hours a week, by the time they retire, they would have worked around like 80,000 if they worked to like 70. I did that by the time I was like 32. And I just did the math, and I was just like, whoa, you need a vacation. But it takes
But also
that.
you got some expertise.
A lot, because I got
At a young
started
age.
early, which allows me to be in the position that I'm in now, to have like that mindset. But I think one of the things about the passion and the discipline is like, it's very easy to like chase the dreams, but as you get older, you realize that it's not just the skill set of doing the job that you need to obtain, but you really need to master yourself and how to handle the ups and downs of life.
Self-discipline.
And that's when actually the goals actually start manifesting themselves and coming to you, because now on God's timing, you've figured out how to handle everything that's coming at you. So that's kind of how I approach it.
And when you know yourself,
Yeah.
then as you're thinking about what your goals are, building a business, whatever it might be, you can start to build a team around you to be able to fill in those gaps, to be able to be the kind of people that you aren't.
Exactly.
And so you can balance each other out, but you never get to that point if you don't invest the time and really getting to know yourself, and also allowing yourself to, like you said, try some things, bump your head, having some space to do that. I know, especially folks from our community, oftentimes, we don't have that margin for error. And so that's something that we have to work to build. But if we can give ourselves space to be able to try some things, really get to know ourselves, then as we start thinking about how do we build an organization, and then how do we dedicate ourselves to moving this thing forward, it helps tremendously. Because, for Shark Tank or whatever opportunity I might be connected to, people sometimes ask, like, what's the worst idea you've ever heard? You must have heard some hilarious, some crazy stuff. And the reality is, I don't hear a lot of bad ideas because, there's nothing new under the sun. The human condition is pretty consistent.
Yeah.
Even as we look at globally, the human condition is pretty consistent. So if there's a problem that someone's working on, there's probably a market for it. But what I do see is a lot of management teams that are unbalanced or that don't have what's needed to take that idea or to take that solution forward. And so I think finding or taking that time to really get to know yourself and then building that team around you is certainly a way to make sure that you're not just disciplined and working hard, but that you're actually able to be productive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I call it the three P's. You need, well, the three things you really need to succeed. You need political capital, which is relationships. You need financial capital, because you can't do anything without money. And you also need intellectual capital. And oftentimes, in our community, we never really have a large bucket of either of them. And so you have to be inspired, and you have to learn from different things. I'll give you a great example. Growing up, when I would be in Tez's office, I was a nerd. I wanted to be in tech, but I saw him managing Wayne and Drake and just the album rollouts and the marketing strategies. I'm like, oh, this is why they say here's the track list. Oh, here's the album artwork. It's an excuse to put something in the press. And once you see the album cover, now it comes the track list, and then the fans get to say, well, what's going to be the single that gets on the radio? And as soon as that happens, they announce the tour, and then they start selling merchandise. Well, I was in tech, and at the time I had what people said was a dumb idea, which was how to connect people to personal trainers. And then I went on looking through that lens and learning from him to build one of the first DSPs, or digital streaming platforms, for online fitness. We pioneered the concept of the fitness challenge, and we had personal trainers that had went all of a sudden from having 20 people in a park to selling workout programs to 50,000 people within 30 days, because I took what I learned from him and applied it to the fitness industry, and no one had done that before, because that was back in 2012.
Wow.
And so it was like, did I have enough money to maybe go to USC and get a master's in computer science? No, but I worked with what I had because I had a mind of curiosity, always trying to learn and borrow from what God had put in my face. And that, like I said, I was one of the only people I was around that was doing business at such a level. So I said, well, I can learn something and figure out how to apply it. So
Yeah, I love it. Well, this actually gets into the last piece I wanted to talk about is I call it show me the money. So just fundamental steps to making a career out of your passion. And so we got some good thoughts into that. What other thoughts may come to mind?
I think you want to be known for something. So as an entrepreneur, there are people that know anytime they have a question about small business, entrepreneurship, whatever, that I'm the person to go to. And so sometimes that means taking phone calls or connecting with friends or getting people up to speed on things. Other times that means contracts. That means business opportunities. That means business development, whether that's for Gage or whether that's for the Inexorable, which is my consulting firm. And so I think you want to build a portfolio of work and distribute that portfolio, marketing, etc., in a way that people know you as a resource for something. Because when that happens, when someone thinks whatever you're working on, when someone thinks I need a personal trainer, or I need somebody that's built a tech company. I need a comedian, or I need somebody that understands the music industry, whatever it might be. They think about you. And that's how I think you're able to begin to tap into this concept of not working a day in your life, because people are coming to you for the very thing that you're most passionate about. And also the thing that you've put in, whether it's 10,000 or 80,000 hours, the thing that you've put the most time into doing as well. And when you have that intersection, that can create exponential growth for you personally, but also for you as a business owner, or for you as an entrepreneur within an organization that's working. It's very valuable to be at that intersection. And so that's where I found success.
Yeah, yeah, I love it. Nick, you touched on this earlier, Brandon, is just the pitch. And I wanted to just talk about that, being able to tell your story so that, you can be known by someone. But a lot of times you may just get a minute, maybe a couple minutes or something like that. What are all your thoughts on just how to pitch? Like what to say, how to say it, what you shouldn't say, or don't speak too long, whatever.
I got super lucky. I'm funny.
Yeah.
Humor will get you
Yeah.
everywhere. I found humor was I just left a job doing the news every day at 3 o'clock on Fox, on a Fox affiliate here, with the shirt, the tie, like an anchor every day. But they brought me in to stand next to a woman who is a true news anchor, straight up and down, and I'm standing next to her. The teleprompter's right there, and we're talking about the biggest stories of the day. I get to do it being me. We were #1 from the day we started until the day I left.
Of course you were.
Of course. And the ill part was, luckily I grew up here in Washington, D.C., so I knew politics like the back of my hand. Anything else you throw up there, if it's something I don't know, humor can get me in or out. And I would do that every day. And I swear, I had no idea if this was working or not. The boss really didn't say much. It was maybe the first 2-3 weeks. They were just, at the end of the show, good show. I'm like, okay. Until I was in a parking lot one morning, 7 a.m., getting coffee and stuff for the family, and there's an older black gentleman, y'all know at 7 o'clock at Safeway. Who's there? It's us,
Right.
older black gentleman. You look for your grandfather at Safeway. 7 in the morning. And I'm getting in the car. When you got your foot in the car, you about to sit down in your seat. He stopped me in between. Excuse me, man. Hey, man, I didn't mean to startle you. Are you the guy from Fox 5? And I said, yeah, man. I love the show, man. He just started telling you all of this stuff that I remembered, that I reminded him of, and he took me all the way back. He's talking Tony Brown, and Tony Brown's Journal and America's Black Forum, and all of those shows that I watched when I was a little kid. And I'm like, are you serious to me right now?
Wow.
And he was very serious. And so I got in there only because I was coming to that station promoting comedy shows. And I had never done anything that seemed like I should be a journalist.
Yeah.
But they brought me in there to be a journalist, and I lived it up.
Yeah.
It was something else. So, I got lucky. I really got lucky. If I have to pitch anybody on anything, I'm gonna make you laugh in that first 20 seconds. If I can make you laugh, I got you the rest of the way.
Yeah. Well, one thing with humor, one thing I've learned about humor is that
it's the truth.
Yeah, it's a great way for people to remember you as well as remember whatever point it is you're trying to make. And it helps to make them feel a particular way. And you can take that feeling strategically however you want to take it. Yeah. Yeah. So comedy.
Yeah, and not in a manipulatory way, but it is what it is, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw that out there, hook you, especially if it's a big guy, somebody you really need to meet.
Yeah.
You really, if you get him to laugh, you just, you got another 30 seconds. Let me tell you this, look, so I own this, blah, 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 blah.
Exactly.
Blah. Now, I'm serious about this. Now, I ain't like, give me a card, and I'll go from there.
Got it. Yeah, that's great. Other thoughts on the pitch?
I mean, I think I'm gonna say pitching specifically because we're talking about like business and money, right? I mean, if it's if it's not correlated to business and it's just people, I think someone that's lived around the world, it's just easy for me to connect with people. You could be from Saudi Arabia and let's talk about King Abdulaziz, and it's just like, wow, you know, and all of a sudden this entire world opens up because people are comfortable with you because apparently you've taken time to do something that they wouldn't have guessed you would have done, which is study their culture and their history.
Yeah.
But as it relates to like investors, one of the things that I actually think is funny about the Shark Tank show is like it's so produced and curated that everybody pretty much has the same format, right?
Yeah.
And that's not reality. So what I always tell young entrepreneurs, whether it's them looking for financing or a college student looking for a job, you actually have to know who's on the other side of the table and what they're interested in and what they need. And you got to figure out how to merge what you're trying to communicate about how exciting whatever it is you're doing to them. So for example, you are a board member of, let's say, Coca-Cola, and you find yourself watching Bloomberg every day, CNBC, and reading S1 reports, which is the annual, the quarterly reports that companies have to produce for Wall Street, right? If I have 60 seconds with you, I probably should use terminology that's already in your head all day, every day, because now I've made myself comfortable enough in your brain to actually make it easy for you to digest what I'm saying. You know, so you have to like really know who's on the other side of the table and honestly speak their language. There's a lot of different variations of English, you know, as it relates to pitching somebody for money or opportunity or their time.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts?
Yeah, well, I think your personality can be your pitch, your profile can be your pitch in terms of what you've done, your portfolio, and if you're producing content, and I think everyone should be producing content regularly, whether that's LinkedIn content or whether that's actually doing writing, whatever it might be, because those pitches can be happening. You can have hundreds, thousands of pitches that are happening as people are seeing your content and seeing your thought leadership in whatever space you might be in. But if we want to talk about a business pitch, what I'm always looking for is passion, which I've already mentioned, problem, so what are you solving, solution, what's the actual product or service, market opportunity, so how big is this market, how are you going to access it, traction, what have you done so far, and then an ask. And then it's always incumbent upon you as the person that's the business owner, or again, if you're in an organization as an entrepreneur, the person that's come up with the idea, it's your responsibility to know what resources do I need to take this business or this idea to the next level, whatever the next level means for you and your business. But if you can put those pieces together, you can set yourself up to be successful with whatever you might be pitching. The only thing that I'll add there is on the market opportunity, be able to say, this is what I'm going to do with the amount of funding or with whatever resources I'm asking for today. So it's great to say this is $1 trillion market globally and I just need to get 1% of it, but tell me you're asking for $100,000. What does that $100,000 mean in terms of customer touch points? What do those touch points mean in terms of conversions? What do those conversions mean in terms of revenue? And then what does that revenue mean in terms of a path to profitability for your company if we're talking about a business within the next 18 to 24 months? So those are the basic pieces for the pitch, and in addition to what you said.
I like that.
Yeah,
That
I
word,
love it.
that path to profitability. Sounds good, don't it? I can't wait to master my path to profitability.
Profitability. Yeah, I love it.
Things go better at home. Baby, you know I got the path to profitability. y'all. Every man needs that.
Yeah, I love it. Now, the last thing I want to dive into is navigating the ups and downs on the path to profitability, but knowing when to persevere or just knowing when to pivot and just like I think about country music. My favorite country music song is The Gambler from Kenny Rogers. Know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away and know when to run, you know, all of that. And so is there something that feel it in your gut or a bunch of people telling you like stop or what do you think?
Mine just, I want to say mine comes from being born, coming up in the '80s and hustle culture. Like you gotta get it. Like you gotta have it. Like okay, you know, they're not buying these anymore. These, you were the king of selling these. It's done. They don't buy these anymore. What you doing today? It's two ways. I'm spending the money that I made on that, and I'm going broke. Or here's my new thing. Oh yeah, oh man, I knew this was coming. So look, I started manufacturing these and selling these. You know, that's been like me from day one. I put myself to school, through college.
Yeah.
I drew on jeans. I used to draw on jeans and sell them. Like if you had an old pair of jeans, hey, I'll draw them, make a design on them, and charge you $25-$30 for your jeans. And boom, boom, boom. You can imagine 89, 88, $30 for a pair of jeans was.
It's a lot. Yeah.
Then I take that money, invest it in throwing a party, back it up, and that's how I was paying tuition. That's how I was actually paying tuition to put myself through school. Wow. So mine is I guess it may just be inherently, it just may be default. That may be my default is to look for more than one off the break.
Yeah.
And then if there's something that I'm good at and have a passion for, pursue it as a side until it can become the prominent. You know what I mean? And luckily I have a lot of prominence still going on at one time, which is, you know, giving me one of the most, I couldn't imagine this life.
Yeah.
Like this is better than it worked out better than I ever imagined. Like,
Yeah.
So
Wow.
yeah, that pivot is now, especially today, you know, with the government shutdown and everybody in this area working for the government, you know, today on our radio show, this week, 3 different times, we had to talk about how are you pivoting? How are you going to switch up?
Yeah.
What are you going to do? The job is gone. Elon Musk came in and took the agency that you went to college for. You specialized in college, got a doctorate and everything, and Elon took it away.
It's gone.
What happens now? We can sit and cry and be mad and all that other stuff. That's fine. But tomorrow the bills are due. And you went on vacation this year. And you still like to go out to dinner. I still have to have my life. And that's where that pivot and that hustle and that other mindset comes in. And
Yeah.
I think I'm bringing it up because every guy I know from my generation is like that. And I got to have it.
Yeah.
I got to have it.
Keep it
Won't hook
moving.
or crook.
Yeah. Keep it moving. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Other thoughts? Persevere or pivot? How do you know or not know? Or
Well, I think from a business standpoint, you always want to be in touch with your consumers from the beginning because they're going to be that sounding board for you to know when to pivot, to be able to test out your idea, to be able to test out your business. Ultimately, they're going to tell you whether or not the business is working because we talk a lot about pitching to financiers. We talk about pitching to investors. If you can't pitch your business to a consumer, you don't have a business.
Right.
And so
it's true.
we need to
First things first. First things first.
We need to focus on that and go where the data leads you with your business. But I think it begins and ends with really being in touch with the community that is going to be using your product or service.
Yeah.
I guess I'll approach it from more of like a mental health place. Just because I've always been a founder in that whole venture capital world. And it is painful. So I won't say go with your gut because it's been plenty of nights my gut was empty and I was hungry.
That's real talk.
Or
Yeah.
I didn't feel well at all. And so there's only been one time where I've shut a company down and I just felt like I had genuinely given it everything I could, whether it was financially, physically, or mentally, and I just shut it down. Outside of that, there's plenty of times where you want to shut everything down, but I think if you can just look out in the market and you can even talk to customers and they say, we actually need this, then it's just a function of time. And as long as you're not doing anything at the detriment of your health, you're probably going to do something detrimental to your finances, but that's okay. You can recover most of the time. It's just a function of time. But if you can give yourself time and you got customers, to his point, the market is saying we do need this product. You just gotta, whether you gotta go drive Uber or whatever it is,
Do what you need to do.
You just keep plugging away at it. And also realize that most successful people have had those stories. You know, Elon blew through 100 million, which sounds crazy, and was living on someone's couch while he was building SpaceX and Tesla. So, you know, not to make him an example of you know, positivity at all here, but for every successful person, they could probably give you, you know, thousands of stories where it was a bad gut feeling. So yeah.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. Well, gentlemen, we've had an amazing conversation, turning passion into profits, you know, doing what you love, not working a day in your life. And so I wanted to thank all of you for spending time with me today. I also wanted to thank our audience for joining in on the conversation. Yeah. And so that was a 100 level conversation. And thank you, gentlemen, for keeping it 100.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother.